Our headlines today. Doctors accuse the government of a chronic failure to supply NHS staff with the right protective equipment. We'll talk to the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, just after 8 o'clock.
The Easter message hits home as millions stick to social distancing rules, but the lockdown faces its biggest test yet this weekend.
The UK has its highest daily death toll, but most patients are surviving coronavirus. We'll hear some of their stories.
And in sports, Kelly Dalglish has tested positive for the virus. The Liverpool legend was taken to hospital to be treated for an unrelated infection, but then tested positive for Covid-19, although his family say he's showing no symptoms.
Thanks, Captain Tom! Thanks, Captain Tom!
Well, yesterday we brought you the story of Captain Tom Moore, who's trying to complete 100 laps of his garden before he turns 100. Today we'll hear the wonderful reaction from those in the NHS. Plans for holidays, celebrations and socialising have all had to change in recent weeks because of coronavirus.
Haven't they just? So too have graduations and exams. But 95 medical students are among those making history as the first class to graduate online from the University of Exeter. It's enabled them to join the NHS frontline.
Now, we have heard a lot of stories recently about companies ranging from vacuum cleaner manufacturers to Formula One engineering teams doing their bit to provide ventilators to the NHS. Now, BBC's drama department has got involved.
Take a look at this. It shows a fully operational ventilator being delivered to one of the new NHS Nightingale hospitals. And what's surprising, it came from the set of the BBC One medical drama Holby City. The show's executive producer Simon Harper said he is proud to be able to support the real-life medics. Do you know, what that's told me is on the dramas, they actually use real stuff.
Yes.
I genuinely would have thought it was just a case.
Did you know
that?
Well, I kind of assumed it was, because they have advisors, don't they, advising on all the medical procedures and the language and everything, so you'd assume also.
But you're acting. If someone's on a ventilator in Holby or, you know, the drama, they're acting. They're not really being ventilated. Sorry to spoil it for you.
Hold on. Listen, it's 6:10. I don't know if you were with us yesterday morning, but we had a bit of a special moment, didn't we, yesterday morning? We met a very special man. Many inspirational stories, of course, over the last few weeks of people doing their bit in different ways to support the NHS. Yesterday, it was the turn of 99-year-old Tom Moore. Tell us about his challenge. Yeah, he wants to raise money for the health service, so he's going to walk 100 laps of his garden before he turns 100. Remember, he's 99. He turns 100 at the end of this month. He's already raised a lot more than he hoped for, I'm pleased to say. Take a look. Step by step, Captain Tom Moore is doing his bit in the fight against coronavirus. During the war, he served in India and Burma. Now, at the age of 99, he's raising money for the NHS by aiming to complete 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday at the end of this month.
I can get about and work slowly, so long as people don't want me to run about too fast. I can manage and will continue to manage as long as I possibly can.
Thanks, Captain Tom! Thanks, Captain Tom! Thanks, Captain Tom!
Tom's efforts haven't gone unnoticed by those on the NHS frontline, with his own nephew, Adam, a junior doctor, among them.
I've been showing the nurses your interview and they've all fallen for you, Tom, which I think you often expect. Your charm is enduring.
Since appearing on Breakfast, Tom has smashed his original £1,000 target and has also received this special message from Dame Kelly Holmes.
I'm an honorary colonel with the Royal Armour Corps, and Captain Thomas Moore has done an amazing job. You are an amazing gentleman. You have served for your country. You are serving your country now by supporting the NHS, and people like you just need all the recognition and thanks. So thank you from myself and from everybody at the Royal Armour Corps and the NHS for everything you're doing.
With a little more than a fortnight to go until his big birthday, Tom's march for the NHS goes on. Do you know what was so nice about Tom as well? He liked both of us.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Tom has raised more than £59,000 for NHS charities together, and a lot of that is down to you watching Breakfast as well. The total has ramped up since he appeared on the programme, so we will definitely try to catch up with him before he gets to the 100.
Yeah,
and we've got an invitation to his birthday party.
So that's what I've heard.
The Daily Mail is reporting that normal life in the UK is not going to resume until a vaccine against coronavirus becomes available. The headline says that will take a year. And the article below it says 18 months. The paper's saying that is what official advisers have told the government. We should make clear, though, that isn't the official line from the government. The Times is more upbeat, saying that a new vaccine could also be available by September, according to a leading scientist from Oxford University.
Let's take a look at the Daily Telegraph, reporting that voluntary social distancing could remain in place indefinitely, even after schools, shops and businesses are allowed to reopen.
And the Mirror carries a double plea for protection from NHS workers. They want more PPE from the government and they want everyone to stay at home, says the paper.
Just a quick look at one or two of the thoughts inside. And on coronavirus, Matthew Parris, of course, the columnist in the Times newspaper. There's a lot of people, inevitably, we don't know, when things will be different, but a lot of people thinking maybe some of the positive things that have come out of what's been going on, I don't know, about community spirit and things like that, maybe will resonate longer term. And he has this rather wistful thought. We say everything will change, but it won't, and suggesting that when the pandemic fades away, what he says, all of the guff about social revolution will disappear at the same time. We will see. Some
lovely stories, though, have come out. There was that lovely piece in I think that's the Mirror, sorry, thanks. This little boy who has been fighting cancer. His name is Oscar Saxelby Lee. He's 6 years old. And when he was diagnosed, there were more than 5,000 people queued up to see if they could be stem cell donors for him because he needed a bone marrow transplant. He had one last June after a matching donor was found. And money has been raised. Anyway, he is now out of hospital after having this pioneering treatment. So it's a good story.
Well, it's very good. It's very good. And there are, that's the thing. Right now, I suppose you have to be in the moment, and there are some wonderful things happening and people doing amazing things, some of which we will be reflecting throughout this morning's programme.
Yes,
it's important
absolutely
to do that. The social distancing thing, you see, there you go. There are the practicalities illustrated where things have to be passed.
It's another advantage, isn't it?
Absolutely. 6:25 is the time.
Easter holiday. It's going to be different this year. We might not be able to get out and about. There is plenty to enjoy by staying in. Police forces have thanked people for obeying the advice to stay at home over the bank holiday weekend so far. Patrols at a number of tourist hotspots were stepped up ahead of Good Friday, but officers say most people obeyed social distancing rules. There are fears, though, that today's even warmer weather in some parts of the country could tempt people to breach the guidance. The members of the NHS Lanarkshire Staff Choir haven't let life in lockdown stop them from what they love.
You just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Thanks to technology, all 29 members joined together for a digital sing-along. It was dedicated to family, colleagues and patients. They recorded the track, as you can hear, Lean on Me by Bill Withers, who of course died last week. They say the song reflects how the world is feeling at the moment, and they hope that it will bring some positivity into people's lives.
From those people who've already tried to do that, and
well.
we spoke to Alfie Bowe, didn't we?
And Gareth Malone about
it. And about how hard it is to get the pitch right when you're doing it from different...
Do it in the same key, yeah.
I mean, I'm no expert, but that sounded very good.
And they were harmonising, so they were not only in the same key, but harmonising beautifully as well. Well done, thank you.
Was Mike Bushell joining in from a distance?
Well, no, I was very tempted, but my mum has been singing with her cathedral choir in Yorkshire, and I was going to join in with that. Maybe I will now.